Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is Uprooted, a rather interesting graphic novel. It's by Ruth Chan, and about Ruth's moving from Canada to Hong Kong. Ruth's parents are both Chinese. She, though, grew up in Canada, and due to her dad's work, they wound up moving to Hong Kong. And it's a very interesting read because, as she points out, that she isn't, Canadian enough for Canadians based off the way she looks, but she's definitely not Chinese enough when she moves to Hong Kong for her relatives or the other people there. So I think it's a really fascinating graphic novel of about a person who doesn't really know where they fit in. For those who have moved, who have even just simple moves from different cities or states or whatever, it's not an easy thing to pick everything up and everything you're used to and kind of start a whole new life. And I think this is a really solid graphic novel, not just for people who kind of are in between two worlds, as far as like the race and nationality, but I think just in general, someone moving and having to kind of start that life and being uneasy about it, and having to make new friends and having parents who maybe aren't paying attention. And I think that's what's really interesting about this is, the big focus is that oftentimes the kids go out and do their things and quickly adapt and are the ones running around and going to malls and having a life. In this case, Ruth is the one who's at home trying to figure out what's going on, and when she gets home, like, her mom is out with relatives or friends because her mom, grew up there. So, it's going back home for her mom, but it's a whole new world for Ruth, and I think that's actually what really makes Uprooted the more interesting read out of a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of reviews of graphic novels about people moving, and I think this one actually is the more interesting one because of that dynamic. Her father has to spend many days away for work, so it's really just Ruth and her mom is like the one having a life and kind of neglecting her kid in some ways, and I think it's really, really interesting. There's also some fascinating decisions that I kind of wish was explored more. Ruth is sent to like a really good school, but it's like a German immersion school, and she doesn't speak German. She barely speaks Cantonese. So there's just decisions like that aren't really explained. She's just kind of thrown into the situation, and that's fine, and that's her perspective of things. But I think it's kind of interesting is like some of the things that the parents decide. It's just like, why are you doing this? To me, it's a little fascinating. But overall, I think Uprooted is a really, really good read, especially for kids who have to move and have to start a new life. I really like the art. I think there's a style to it that's easy for kids to get into, and there's like a really good capture of the emotions of Ruth and her excitement, her nervousness. Really, I think nails down kind of the roller coaster of her life, and there's like just enough detail to really nail things down. Where I also think it's really interesting is like it's not totally polished. If you look on the image on the left, like some of the buildings are kind of on an angle and a little crooked. It's not perfect, and I think that's actually really kind of interesting. Here's kind of another example where the perspective's not quite right. To me, I actually think it's interesting in that, if it's done purposely, it actually helps kind of make the experience more kind of discombobulating for Ruth as she moves, and I think it adds in some ways to her being thrown into this strange world and being overwhelmed in some ways. So overall, I think it's a really good read. If you have kids who are moving or have moved or having trouble adjusting, I think this is a solid read, and maybe they can find, a connection with someone who's experienced something very similar. So it's well worth checking out. It is out in shops. You can go get it. We've got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code to tell a shop is near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage, and by doing that, you help support our site, so thank you for that. And speaking of support, I want to thank Roaring Brook Press for hooking us up with the review copy, and of course, thank you all for watching. If you are into comics, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.